There you go.
Hello and welcome once again. We're back with another track guide. This time I'm joined, as usual, by Darren, but also by a man
No.
who cannot spell his own middle name. Fact. It's Alex. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Very shy, instantly.
That's all right. So
Hello.
we're back at Snetterton. We covered this the other week in the Alpine, but we're running it again in our GT World Challenge series for the GT3s. So we thought we'd have a look at some of the differences and we'd sort of have a look at some what we all like to do in qualifying as well, to sort of try and set up for a single quick lap rather than sort of racing laps and stuff.
Also thought that qualifying as well is quite a good way of giving yourself a better race as well.
Yeah,
Like the closer to the front you can get, it's quite important. Out the
yeah,
traffic.
definitely. Alex, you're reasonably new to Snetterton. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, the first sector is really good, and the new bit in the middle. I'm not so keen on the last sector just because it puts quite a big load on the one side of the car. But
Yeah, feels like
sort of,
them outside tires are going to fall off the rims.
yeah, so it's going to be tricky to balance it for setup wise
Hmm.
on that corner and compared to the other laps, the other sectors. Because
Yeah,
they're relatively slow compared to that bit, but
yeah. So
all
the
about practice.
absolutely seamless segue then. Let's chat about setup. What's your go-to for this Snetterton? What have you found works and what doesn't work in your Honda?
It'll be interesting.
Finding very high aero, so I've maxed the rear wing.
Hmm.
But that seems to be a go-to with this Honda. I don't know if it's similar with the Porsche or the Aston Martin, but it seems to balance
Again with
better.
the
And
Porsche.
got quite a high rake on it as well.
Yeah,
So
so
the
you've got the
back's
back a lot higher than the front.
yeah, just to try and get a nicer balance for that higher downforce, because obviously it's going to squat when you go a bit faster.
Yeah,
But then I've got a softer front for the turning for those slower corners, which I'm finding okay.
yeah,
Um, it's a bit of a nightmare, obviously, with the last sector because it's just going to burn the tyres out. So I have
hmm.
to try and get a bit of a better balance. But generally, look, I find a slightly more oversteery car, but that's more down to personal preference when it
Yeah.
comes to driving.
Does that softer front end help with like the curbs and stuff?
Um, Definitely not sausage curbs, but I'm finding the normal curbs definitely attack them, but
Yeah,
obviously you got to be careful because it'll just spit the car out.
yeah,
Um, Higher rate not helping that much, but with say the first corner, it's ideal to hit just. I'm finding to hit the curb,
yeah,
and it seems fine. The car's not bouncing off. It's not
yeah,
throwing it. It's actually taking it quite well. So that side of things seems okay. Generally, you don't really want to be riding the curves too much, just in case you knacker a tire.
yeah. Okay,
Go into the atmosphere.
that sounds good. We do love a sausage on these
Oh, we
videos.
do.
Um, so
Try not
if
to hit any today.
you boys wouldn't mind getting this sausage fest underway, let's do some
Yeah.
laps of Snetterton.
Who's going to be the bratwurst and who's going to be the hot dog?
I'll leave that up to you to decide.
Worst.
We've
Don't get
got
really scared. You even got out the GT3 car on cold tires.
yeah. You don't see a lot of people use this Honda, which I always think is a shame because it's a great looking car.
Yeah, I find it. The main reason was just like I said, no one really uses it now. Whether it's the update or not, there's more popular cars like Ferraris and the new Porsche Darren's got.
Yeah, a lot of the tracks though are Ferrari tracks now. So
They are a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
See, this is a
Especially
Ferrari track.
yeah,
it's just the flatter tracks like Silverstone. Find the Ferrari good, but
yeah,
I think slow corners is definitely going to help with this car 'cause it has a really pointy front end on it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I always liked
lacking a
that
bit on the
about the
straight.
Honda. So we'll pretend this is a qualifying session. This is your out lap from the pits. Are you doing anything particularly different when you come out? I know when I go into a quali session, before I even do anything, I'm looking at the track map for a gap because I don't want people around me. It's distracting and that.
Yeah, it's like what I'm doing at the moment now is got Darren ahead of me. This bit I'll back right off, say give like not depending on what cars are behind because you don't want to scupper their laps.
Yeah,
But just enough of a gap so if he makes a mistake, I'm not going to affect by it. But there's enough of a gap that if I do catch him, it's hopefully towards the end of a lap.
yeah,
And it gives a chance to warm tyres and brakes up ready for the lap.
yeah. With the ACC as well, I really find that it's, even though you might be showing a good temperature after one lap, it's 3, maybe 4 laps
there,
before
it
really gets dialed in.
Another thing I like to do, and before I come out for a quali lap, even just a quali session, is just kind of check the track. So you can look at the map, and you can see if there's many cars coming. You can look in the timing screen, see how far you've got between people.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know if you're pulling out, you're not pulling out into someone. I mean,
yeah,
some tracks are a bit difficult to do that, but
yeah.
in general, you can see.
I find the track map really useful with the color coding on the icons. So if it's
Yes.
obviously if the icon's sort of a light blue color, you know that person's not on a lap. But if it's grey, and I need to be sort of more aware.
Yeah, you know someone's coming behind you.
Yeah.
Or at least on a lap of some
Yeah.
sort. I think that's another important one. If you have had a lap just taken off, I don't think there's any point in holding position. Like, I know if I mess a lap up, if I see someone coming, I will get right out of the way. I won't hold on and see how long I can hold them off for. I will just
yeah,
peel over to the side and be like, have it.
Yeah, there's definitely no gain for me or them by doing that.
Yeah.
These are just
stay off the racing line.
Yeah, these are just individual laps against the clock, so it really doesn't matter what that other car is doing.
Another thing I like as well is if you're on a lap, so if you've got someone catches you, say a third of the way around of the lap, like Alex is catching up to me just now. So, see, he's kind of caught up to me now, and he kind of sits behind me. I would assume that he's giving me this lap to push.
Yeah.
And just sitting there, kind of waiting his turn. What I like to do is I'll finish my lap, and then as I get to the end, I'll literally just pull off the side, keep the hammer down, but pull off the racing line, finish my lap. Once I'm across the line, off the racing line, I'll just slow down, let him past, and let him carry on, start his lap completely uninterrupted.
Yeah. So you're taking your lap and then you're giving up the next one, because in effect what's just happened is that person behind you's giving up their lap, and then they can have the next one.
You're just kind of returning the favour.
Yeah.
Especially if you do mess someone's lap up, it can get in. I don't know if same for you guys. It can get in your head a bit. It's like, especially towards the end of a qualifying session, you feel a bit bad.
You know they're on the last attempt.
Yeah, and it's just going to force you to try and push harder, and that's when the mistakes happen.
Okay. Come through this section here. That's a bomb hole there. Fun fact for you: no bombs have ever dropped on Snetterton, so don't know why it's called bomb hole, because it's not one.
Yeah, like here, this is like a situation like one about here. Alex has been behind me for the entire lap, like giving us a lap. So then I'll just like hold off to the right, cross the line, just like slow down,
Yeah.
and go have a quick look at the map. Right, there's no one coming.
Okay.
If anything, it actually helps because you can then follow that person without getting in
Yeah.
the way. You can then follow them. You can maybe see some new lines, things like that.
Yeah.
It's like this corner, finding you can say if you weren't taking it, you can go super wide here onto a bit you wouldn't think you'd be allowed to, and you can get away with it. And that might be the bit where you're taking the corner a bit tight, losing that 10th of time.
Yeah.
Now you've now found that just from following someone. I mean, you take obviously different cars. You are going to take different lines.
I was going to say, from what I've noticed just following you here, you seem to square a lot of these turns off quite early. Is that something you just do in like qualifying, or is that like a race thing as well?
I do it in qualifying. In a race, I wouldn't want to leave a gap open. So if like you were that close in the race, say those hairpins, I wouldn't want to leave a gap open and cut across because it makes it unpredictable. I'd just take more line, but obviously what I'm trying to do is get the exit speed
Down the next straight.
Yeah, I'd rather be slower into a corner and faster out than the opposite way around. You're just killing your times and tyres.
Because you don't have to defend in qualifying at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
that's Snetterton in the GT3s with quite a lot of quali chat, but there you go. Hopefully you picked something up from that. Thanks again, gentlemen. Excellent driving as always.
No crashes.
Yeah, no crashes. And a disappointing amount of sausage action, I'll say. But yeah, until next time, thanks very much.
See ya.
See you later.